All right, YouTube, this is 2 Cent, and we're back with my 2 cents on Echoes of Mana. We're following up in the series on the best memory gems used in the game, and today we're going to be looking at the best physical damage unit memory gems. So I've kind of split up the damage dealers because, for the most part, the memory gems are going to be completely separate from what you use on your physical damage units in your magic damage units. So, strength-based units versus intellect-based units. So let's get into that and hit that sub button. Alright, for our cards today, I've actually picked out 5 different ones, and they do happen to all be 4-star cards, but I wanted to kind of give a nice coverage of different usage, and there's going to be a little, the little portraits there of this is what I suggest of characters for those cards. It's not an exhaustive list, so there could be other units that could utilize those cards, and some units could utilize other cards based on the particular content they're doing. So first, we're looking at Howl Under the Moon. These cards are in no certain order of my preference. Like I said, it is based off the content you're doing. And what I really like about this card is when you're doing your auto farming, and I really favor Kevin and Lark for that, you're going to take some damage because they're on auto. You can't dodge anything. And so the passive on this, it really works nice to give that extra, 10 to 15% extra strength. But I also really enjoy the fact that you can get up to 103 crit off of this piece. And 103 crit, I mean 103 luck, which translates to crit. So that's a really good card to have, and you'll find that most cards that have crit on it have lower of the base stats. So we're only looking at 200 here on the strength, but for that it's still pretty good as far as your auto farming teams. And so this is a card I would definitely suggest. Unfortunately, is a card I do not have myself. Next up, we're going to look at a very niche card, and this is Aim for the Wind's Acorn. I think it is one of the best cards out there, giving that normal attack and that skill damage up. Unfortunately, it's only for wind units, so if you have that Keldric or that Rise out there, or any other physical based unit that's wind later on down the road, so far, this is the best card for that nice 400 strength, and then 820 HP is also really nice to have on there to kind of help keep them boosted up and alive there. So definitely this is a great card if you're looking to equip it on at least those 2 units. But obviously you don't use this on anybody who's not a wind element unit. All right, for the third card, we have Colliding Convictions. This is going to be another elemental-based card, similar to Aim for the Acorns, but this is going to be for water units. And currently we have our big event going on. This card is actually currently out, being able to get picked up. So we have Sierra and Lark here, and that normal attack and Mega Spirit magic damage increase for water units is really nice on top of the 400 strength. I think this is a perfect card for both of them currently that's out, especially if you're utilizing them in our current Bravers Arrives event. I think this is going to be the best card for that. All right, so those first 3 cards, though very good, also were limited by element or just for your farming teams. So here we're going to have some generic cards for our last 2 that I think are just good pretty much across the board for your physical damage units, and that is Sword from Above. This is actually a memory gem that I have and I use all the time. I think right now it's currently on Lady Black Pearl. I just love the skill damage increase you get from this card, as well as that extra strength. And it is really nice to be able to kind of float it around anybody. Rise can use this if you don't have the Aim of the Acorns, or really just any physical damage user that is going to be prioritizing their skill usage in battle. So somebody who might be like Durand, who comes out, uses a skill, and then isn't going to use it again or get switched out or something like that. Obviously, you're not going to want to put it on him, but that's kind of why I haven't included like Durand or Hawkeye and stuff like that on this list, is because though they can act as DPS units, I think they are better fitted for support roles. And so we'll have a separate video that kind of details maybe some cards to put on them, and we're going to leave this to the damage units. For our last card, we're going to have basically the opposite of the first card we showcased. That was really good for farming. Here we have Little Spirit Fae that I would say don't use on your auto farming teams because you're not going to be able to use your Mega Spirit anyway. So most of this card is just a stat stick at that point. However, when you're manually playing the game, Little Spirit Fae is actually one of the best cards out there to put on somebody that you're actively using. It's kind of difficult if you're going to have to switch and then hit your Mega Spirit and then have to switch back to your damage dealer. So I would caution, this card is really good, but maybe not always the best in all the scenarios. If you're going to want to prioritize like your skill damage and stuff like that, I think that this is still a really good choice for your units, and that's why I'm including it in this list. And I know I see a lot of people out there that really hype up this card, and for good reason. What is also nice is that it's got 400 strength and 400 intellect, and so Popplio isn't really a physical damage based unit, but he does split his damage with his ST and his auto attacks to be physical. So this is a really good card for him, so he kind of got slid into this video. And then of course Seraphina, our 4-star version of her, has both intellect and strength based abilities as well. So that's where this card I think really excels on those two units. Anyway, that's been my 2 cents.